Top of the morning to you. Can you hear that? Those birds. It's hard to hear them over the trees. They're really loud a moment ago. The birds are chirping. Spring is in the air. Yesterday was the equinox, and 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night. And it's above freezing this morning here in Minnesota. Spring is a good time for renewal, for thinking new thoughts, for new beginnings, new growth. Oh, there, now you can hear it. Hear those beautiful birds just singing away. It gives me cheer, it gives me glory. Not glory, it gives me aspiration of glory. It gives me awe, that's the word. It makes me appreciate the awesomeness of God's creation, how He created it all to work together. All these leafless trees. It is, what is it? March 21st. Yeah, I think it's March 21st. And all these trees will not have leaves until like May 15th to 30th. But yet it's melting down. The sap is starting to run. We haven't decided if we're doing sap this year, but it's just that hopefulness, that anticipation. Sailing season's coming up, racing sailboats, and the inspiration of anticipation. So many big words I'm throwing out today. Anticipation of the competition, getting out on the water, coming together as a team to race. The last couple of years, our sailing team has been floating around on the boat, doing different jobs, whether it's trimming the jib, trimming the main, driving the boat, running the foredeck, being the mast man. It's a small 24-foot boat, but part of that learning everything has hindered our results quite a bit. Way back when, whoa, puppy dog, way back when, a friend of mine and I ran the boat, and we're both really good sailors, and we had great results because we could do one of us driving and one of us running the rest of the boat, teaching people, helping things out, making sure things worked. And then as I started creating my own crew, I was driving and I was handcuffed to the tiller. The tiller is the stick that you drive the boat with, that's attached to the rudder. And if something was wrong up there on the front of the boat, oh, I gotta go over there. I couldn't get there because I was driving. So one of the first things I did was I tried to get other people driving the boat. And so we rotated that around, and it was nice to get my head out of driving, because driving is really a hard place to do tactical focus when you're driving the boat. You're watching, half the time you are specifically watching the sails and keeping the boat lined up with the wind to make the sails work in the most optimal way. And the second half of the time, you're trying to do that somewhat, but you're also trying to maximize your direction towards the downwind mark. And so you're not able as a driver, effective driver, to look at the tactics. The tactics are, where are the other boats on the course? Where's the wind? Where's the wind shifting? And things like that. So getting off of that gave me ability to really look at the tactics instead of trying to do both. Oh, what a beautiful sunrise. Look at that. And so at the end of last season, two and a half, 3 seasons of mixing it up and everybody being jacks of all trades, one of the crew members said, "Hey Brian, maybe you are a good driver, like much better than any of us." And at first I was humble and said, no, you did great. And then I thought and dug into it and visualized some of our performances. And some of our performances, in general, they drove really well, but the mistakes were big. They weren't very long, but they were big and slow. And I realized if we're in the right seats on the bus, that's what we say in business when I consult for software companies and companies building software, we got to get the right people doing the right jobs. We got to have people in the right seats on the bus. So that's our goal this year, is to put me back on the tiller now that the crew is confident enough to problem solve. They know, they've felt the boat, they've felt the mistakes, they've done the mistakes, that they can respond. They have the language so that I can instruct them in words to do that, because sailing's a whole new language. So I'm really excited. Here we go. Let's go over here and take a look at it quick. Here is our vessel. It was called Fathead, P-H-A-T, and I think I'm going to name it Not Mine, because it's not mine. A friend of mine had it. He has one just like it called Insatiable. It's 24 feet long, and his kids were not interested. They were interested in sailing it, and then all their buddies bailed out on him and said, yeah, we don't want to sail. So he said, I've got an offer for you. Why don't you run this boat? And so that was the plan, that I would run the boat and race it against him for the season. So we're going to get that out and get it running again this year. I'm going to drive and get my practice up, because I noticed some of the times when I did drive, I'm like, I should be able to do this, and it didn't time out right. It didn't come out right. I didn't have the results I wanted. So that's the lesson today, is be in the right seat, be a leader and put people in the right seats, and achieve more than you could by yourself. It's back to my 3 core beliefs. I believe I'm getting better every day. I believe we're better together as a sailing crew. And I believe in a God who knows better, way better than I do. And on top of that, I am pure and clean and righteous in his eyes as soon as I confess my sins, own them, give them up to the sacrifice that Jesus paid on the cross for my sins, so that I am fully righteous, fully capable, fully valuable in God's eyes. And I can do anything. We can do anything, being better every day, being better together, and knowing and following a God who knows better, way better than I do. You be blessed.